Hello, friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and GodTube, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Two brave Boy Scouts were riding their bikes when they heard screams for help. Written by Heather Riggleman. Read by Alyssa Forsberg. Two Boy Scouts may not seem like much help against high floodwaters, but they saved the life of a woman on a hot summer day. Those two brave Boy Scouts, Joseph Denner, 16, and Dominic Viet, 15, were riding their bikes when they heard cries for help. They found a woman terrifyingly clinging to a basketball hoop in 7 feet of water. The young woman had gone for a swim on a hot summer day, but after being in the water for 30 minutes, she found herself in grave danger. Despite being surrounded by friends near the water's edge, her cries for help went unanswered until Joseph and Dominic launched into action. "I don't think she could have lasted until first responders got there," Joseph said. "We definitely paused, but then we decided it was the right thing to do. I'm like, I can't leave somebody out there to struggle in the water while I'm sitting here and watching," he added. Without the training and the skills learned in the Boy Scouts, these two may have just been bystanders like everyone else. But through training and a heavy emphasis on always being prepared, these two young heroes put their skills into action and their lives on the line to help a woman in need. Their parents couldn't have been more proud. "I was proud but concerned, and we had a long talk afterward about the dangers of floodwaters. It feels good to know he would think of others in that way," said Joseph's father. In the meantime, the woman the two Boy Scouts rescued has fully recovered, and the pair's scoutmaster said they may receive badges for their heroic efforts. Whether or not they get badges, these two young boys can be proud, knowing they saved a life, and that matters more than anything else. "Because you love me, I will rescue you. I will protect you because you know my name. When you call to me, I will answer you. I will be with you when you are in trouble." Psalm 91, 14-50. News crews show up after kids call home to report their teacher removed all the desk. Written by Mel Johnson. Read by Alyssa Forsberg. Martha Cothren taught her students a lesson they'll never forget when the teacher removed all desks from the classroom, and it's a powerful reminder we all need to hear. Exceptional teachers know that just reading facts from a textbook isn't enough to get through to a group of high school kids. Martha Cothren is one of those exceptional teachers. In 2005, she came up with a clever way to teach her students about the price of freedom, and her lesson was so powerful it still circulates the internet today as a real-life modern-day parable. Can you imagine walking to a classroom with absolutely no desk? That's exactly what happened to students of Robinson High School in Little Rock on their first day of class in Martha Cothren's history class. "Miss Cothren, where are our desks?" the confused kids asked. "You can't have a desk until you tell me how you earn the right to sit at a desk," Martha replied. Puzzled, the students started making guesses at how they could earn a desk. Good grades? Good behavior? Martha explained that while grades and behavior were important, none of that earned them a seat. Students came and went, sitting on the floor while trying to figure out what their teacher was waiting to hear from them. Some kids even started calling their parents, and by the afternoon, all of the local news stations had shown up at the school to report on how the crazy teacher removed all desks from her class. It wasn't until the final period when Martha Cothren revealed the lesson behind this clever stunt. "Throughout the day, no one has been able to tell me just what he or she has done to earn the right to sit at the desks that are ordinarily found in this classroom," Martha said. "Now I'm going to tell you." Martha opened the door and 27 U.S. Armed Services veterans, all in uniform, filled into the classroom. Each veteran carried a school desk. "You didn't earn the right to sit at these desks," Martha said. "These heroes did it for you." Martha went on to explain how the brave men and women before her class traveled all around the world, sacrificing their own education and time with family so they could enjoy the daily freedoms often taken for granted. They paid the price so that you could have the freedom to get an education. Don't ever forget it, Martha said. Many times when stories like this circulate, they are either highly embellished or entirely fake. But that's not the case here. This viral modern-day parable telling how a teacher removed all desks to teach her students about freedom is a true story. It gained national attention during Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee's presidential campaign. Governor Huckabee recounted the story in several of his speeches, and sometime after that, it gained internet fame. Martha Cothren is the daughter of a World War II prisoner of war. She regularly invites veterans to visit her class and looks for ways to show them appreciation. In fact, in May 2005, Martha and her class held a Vietnam Veterans Recognition Week and thank you ceremony. Martha and her students often send care packages to U.S. service members serving in Iraq and Afghanistan and write letters to soldiers everywhere. And in 2006, the Veterans of Foreign Wars named Martha Cothren their Teacher of the Year. Martha's lesson also reminds us of our freedom as Christians. It too came with a price that was paid when Jesus Christ went to the cross for our sin and brokenness. And that is a sacrifice we should never forget. In Him we have redemption through His blood, the forgiveness of sins, in accordance with the riches of God's grace. Ephesians 1:7.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.